Ccormau nakaslab jong udongsan Hima.
Meecl, we are always, our unions and stand is always there that a CMD of Meecl should be not below the rank of additional chief secretary. You have seen all along that the CMD of Meecl, being the biggest industries of the state, has been in the rank of additional chief secretary and even chief secretary of the state. So there is nothing personal against any officers. That is, let us be very clear. And on the relief of the present power minister from the power portfolio, this is where I have read all. You have seen all these things. So we are not bringing any allegations. For a free and fair investigation, we request the Honorable Chief Minister
But if you
to relieve.
how will it help?
As per her question, how will it help by removing these two bosses of your bosses?
You see, help in a sense. You see, first is that investigation. Number two is we really need somebody to carry us. We don't want any confrontation. We are here not for any confrontation, but to build up this organization. So we want somebody who will take the responsibility and to move forward. Honorable Power Minister and also CMD, a senior CMD.
Gentlemen, please let me interrupt in between. Before your SEB was unbundled, sometimes in 2011, and there was in 2006 and 2007, there was similar report of what you call it, the power theft in the industrial estate, where you own, not you, but some officials were involved in providing all those, what do you call it? Connections. And again, it was unveiled by the CMD. This will not have happened if senior officials are not involved at all. Please.
Whether this official has been any action was taken on such official?
No, but there has been unveiled by your CMD. Please,
No.
If you can further put your answer on this.
Sir, like what we have said.
This theft happening, and the engineer.
Yeah.
Let me take his name, Engineer Kunjing.
I'll not know.
Yeah, Engineer Kunjing. After he found, after he detected the theft, he was transferred. Are you aware of that?
I'm not really aware, but I'm quite aware of the theft when there's some connivance.
Let me tell you one thing. We are very straight and we are very clear. We do not condone. If there are any black sheep, let there be inquiry and appropriate action be initiated against such. We are very clear. These 10 fingers are not similar.
No,
different.
Let me come. Engineers have
independent inquiry.
Yes, that is the purpose of this.
This is the purpose of that. We are demanding an independent inquiry to establish the veracity of your report.
No,
that's why. And if any engineer is found indulged in such malpractice, let that officer be appropriate action be initiated against him. That's what we want. And what more?
No. See,
yes, ma'am.
According to reports, it stated that the CMD has already instituted an internal inquiry, but he stated that the MECL is inadequate. So they have referred the matter to the state government. So don't you think this timing is much where at the time when power thefts in these cases are being unearthed.
Let me tell you one thing, ma'am. On the 15th of January, a lady engineer, when she detected that theft, she filed an FIR. Later on, she even slapped that bill of 3.48 penalty bill. That bill was slashed by half by the CMD. I don't want to ask any questions on why he has done that. And accordingly, after filing of FIR, once they have agreed to pay the penalty, accordingly they have withdrawn the FIR. However, 10 days later, our CMD made an inspection. Now you see the timing. Please apply your mind.
That's why we are telling, let there be an independent
That's why we want. Let there be an independent
Let the truth
inquiry.
come out.
Let the truth come out.
Let the truth come out. We want that.
And what kind of independent inquiry are you proposing?
We are keeping it to the wisdom of the Honorable Chief Minister.
Let the Honorable Chief Minister take a call on this independent inquiry, and if he feels that the level of inquiry required by central agency like CBI, let it be so. Welcome.
They kept quiet as far as these power theft by these industries, and so many departments now they have accumulated outstanding dues worth more than 500 crores.
Sir, regarding the outstanding government departments, always we carry out disconnection on the approval of the higher authority, especially the government departments. We have to seek the approval of the higher authority. That is number one. Number two, on AT&C laws, yes, we appreciate not only this management, on past management, they have taken steps to reduce the AT&C loss. We would request this management also not to look into one area of the consumers. Look at the greater prospect of the state, the other areas of consumers. Industries consist of almost 30% of the revenue. There are areas where the loss, I have said, is range from 50, 70, 80. So we would like to see these laws are reduced. These laws are reduced.
So can we say that now, are there reforms or not that are being taken by
I don't know.
I'll take this one. These reforms, you see, sir, yes, we need reforms. Okay, yes, we need. Yeah, you see, reforms now. That is what is reducing the tariff, giving a special tariff to the BIA, a reform. Is a one-time settlement a reform? Is waiving of demand charge to the industries a reform? Is buying power at a higher price, doing away with power banking, a reform? Reform, I'll tell you, is when the then late Chief Minister of Assam, Mr. Tarun Gogoi, in 2006, there is a hue and cry in Assam, Guwahati. There is a demand for diesel because there is a load shedding of almost 6 to 7 hours daily in the city. At that time, the Chief Minister understood that they are not going to return to power. Immediately, they took strong decisions. Decisions which today has helped the utilities of our neighboring states. They are not a generating states, but they are doing well. So these reforms are without installing smart meters. They took loan for construction, building up the generation capacity. Not unnecessary loans where components are not required. So these are the reforms which they have taken. We would request our Honorable Chief Minister also to initiate the reforms which are in a positive direction. Not the reforms where few categories of consumers benefits.
The engineers themselves would.
Yes. Okay, I'll tell you why. These are high-end consumers. High-end consumers. It is already passed by an order wherein all are involved. Not only one divisions, vigilance, revenue, and the distribution officers are involved, where they have to take the MRI reading, meter reading instruments, where for 90 days to 120 days, all the details of that consumer is captured. So that's why we are telling that let there be an inquiry. Get all the details. It is already there recorded. Maybe the loss, the demand, everything is captured in the MRI, meter reading instrument.
Is it
It's
true?
there.
Is it true after the CMD found that the meter was sealed in that Benihak industry, he ordered his subordinate to destroy the seal?
Sir, we are not there. But the only thing I would like to tell one thing is this. We have to go by the Act. From section 126 to section 150 of the Electricity Act 2003, wherein there is a special court also constituted for this very purpose. So, I don't know whether the CMD, if at all he has directed his subordinate to break the seal, is in accordance with the Act. I wouldn't like to comment. Because if these industries challenge in the court of law whether we can withstood or not. So, since we are binded by the Act, any officers, be it as however high, you cannot just tamper with the seal. Immediate action should have been taken. Whether those no FIR was lodged. That's why very serious issue now. Whether those parties, see, I'll tell one thing.
When the CMD has claimed there is tampering, why he has not filed FIR there and then?
When this lady officer filed an FIR, serve this bill. This party was there. Sai Prakash was there. They accepted. They have committed this wrong thing. Okay. So now when the CMD has carried, whether that procedure has been followed or not, whether those party where allegation has been made, whether they are aware of this or not, because if this party goes to court, we'll be nowhere.
But if those parties have to go to court, it's okay. But FIR will be lodged.
No FIR was lodged. This is the first case. This is on 15. This is on 15.
This is on 15 that the lady found.
On 26, no IFR.
On the 26, the CMD paid a visit, and he said he has found the meter to be tampered. If he has found the meter to be tampered, why he has not directed any of his subordinates to file an FIR?
But that lady didn't pursue, in fact.
No, that's a different case.
That is a different case.
Yeah, is that 15 you're talking about?
Yeah. No. Now you are asking for the CMD. CMD has never filed an FIR. On 26. On 15 case, yes, they have filed an FIR. But when a CMD went for surprise inspection, no FIR was lodged.
So you're quite amused, rather, that no follow-up action was taken by
the Act. Due process was followed. Whereas on 26, the CMD should have called officers to file an FIR. Maybe against our own officer, maybe against the industries, but that was not done. So my apprehension is that whether this will stand in the court of law. Because in the court of law, you have to produce all documents.
Okay, so
I have filed an FIR, almost around 54 numbers. Madam, I missed one point. On 23rd of March, we have filed an RTI. We have asked all the details. Fine. And in the last of our questions, we have asked, please provide copies of the board of resolution held for a period with effect from January 2019 till date, including file noting, dissent note, if any, by the directors. So this is the RTI which we have filed, And we assure the consumer of the state, after we get the reply to all this which we have asked, surely, if need be, we will approach the Honorable High Court.
Grant, there's a grant component and there is a state share component. So where will the state share come from? State share means MECL share. Where will it come from? You have to pay loan for that component. It's 80-20.
As far as I understand, the smart meter will, detect, will improve the billing efficiency. So why is the union against that?
We are not against that.
We have told, nah.
We are not against that. We are not against. No, we are not against. It's the way it has been the process.
The process.
The process. See, he has already made it clear in his statement that there is a PSU.
Just to add to, before you answer, just to add, because it's related to smart meter, your CMD has clarified, saying that this the amount for smart meter is not going to be paid by the consumers, and then the amount also is not 9,000 as you have, over 9,000 as you have stated.
Not me stated. It is the resolution board session, not me.
No, but,
Documents are here.
what made you still have doubt on the clarification of your CMD?
Now, when this smart meters is defective, who will replace?
And is it true smart meter has a high radiation?
That we cannot say the technical aspect of that. Yeah.
That you please from the competent authorities who will be able to.
But it
say
does have a SIM card slot.
Okay, my last question.
See, okay, I'll come back to yours. You see, it is actually like this. You see, smart metering is actually a national program. I think you may be aware now. It's called Smart Metering National Program. And this company that he has mentioned, EESL, Energy Efficiency Services Limited, is an arm of a PSU arm of the central government, which executes, energy efficiency projects. So basically, what it does is, it does invest in the project without any investment from the utility. It does its own investment. Like you have said, it'll capture the loss. So you see, you understand this way. If the existing loss is about 15%, and by installing the smart meter, the losses comes to about 10%, there's a saving of about 5%. That 5% saving is translated into money. From that saving, ESL would realize its investment. And after it has realized all its investment, it'll hand over the project to the utility. However, during the process, that 10% amount which is due to the MECL, it will be getting. So there is a share. But however, our government have chosen to willfully avoid this and have adopted this route by taking loan. Our question is this: why, when the smart meters could have been installed for free, why are you taking loan for the project? That is a question. And it's very simple.
And in Shillong area, it should not be mandatory. As I have told, the loss is range from 10 to 11%. You see, it should be optional. If I don't want this smart meter, why do you force on me to install this smart meter? A strong management, a management which have the will. Like I have given an example for Assam, our neighboring states. So we'll pray to God that this government appoint, it's not me, it's not us who appoint those people. Appoint people who will see that this organization prosper and that its consumers are happy. Not for our individual needs to accommodate wealth, but for the organization and the state as a whole.
But sir, why in the past there are so many senior officers, including chief secretaries, who were the CMD of then MSED, now MECL, they have not been able to bring down those losses as has been mentioned by my colleague? I mean, you refer to having a senior officer says that, but then they have not been able. Why?
See, let me tell you one thing. See, losses are inherent. There are two types of losses that you have said: A, T, and C losses. One is technical loss and a commercial loss. Technical losses is inherent in the system that we say T and D losses, the technical transmission and distribution losses. These losses are inherent in the system. You cannot bring it down to zero. You cannot. It is inherent in the system. Let me tell you one thing. During those days, we had our systems where, something which losses were very high. Now with this star rating, for instance, let me tell you about the transformation losses, the T. What happens is it is inherent in the transformer. The old technologies, the losses is very high. Now what happened is the Bureau of Energy Efficiency has made it mandatory that these transformers should be star rated. So it's star rated 1, 2, 5. The highest star rating that the transformer is given, the minimum is the loss. Earlier it was not there. So you can understand with time, the technology is changing. So now we're adopting these technologies. That's why the technical losses is reducing. However, as far as smart meter is concerned, smart meter is not going to help with the technical losses. It is inherent in the system.
No, I'm not saying.
But it is going to arrest, partly I can say, if not fully, the theft, which is the commercial losses. It is a different matter. See, even those energy may not be, may not have been stolen, but if the consumer is not paying, even though it's not theft, but that is a commercial loss. You see, so to arrest these losses, we welcome these technologies. We welcome the reforms. We welcome. We are only against the process by which it has been implemented.